In this video I'll be showing you how to acquire a free Ray K-84 wonder weapon on the map Firebase Z. Before you can start acquiring this weapon you will need to have turned on the main Aether reactors, i.e. the power around the map. If you do not know how to do this, I will have a link down in the description with a guide that tells you how to do all this. Once you turn the power on and everything, the first item you will want to acquire is the blueprint. You can find this by coming over to the weapons lab area, and if you come up to this wall here by this little workbench, you will see that the blueprint is on the wall. Simply walk up to it, use your interactive button to pick up the blueprint. The next part you will want to find is down by the scorched defense area. You can find this by finding a dead zombie person next to a tank. You will also find on the floor a weapon trial folder that you can pick up as well. Once you pick that up, come over to this dead zombie body here and use your interactive button, and this will give you a mini cutscene where you basically stab this guy in the head and rip out his eyeball. The person who is doing this and in this animation cannot be attacked by the zombies, so do not worry about that. Now that you've acquired the eye, you need to come back over to the weapons lab again and come over to this computer that is next to the table where you picked up the blueprint earlier. Use your interactive button and this will put the eyeball in a little retina scanner. Wait for it to scan the eyeball and this will open the drawer up next to you, which will reveal a key for you to pick up. Now that you've acquired the key, you will need to come over to the barracks area of the map. There are two barrack areas that you can go into. There is the barracks 1 and the barracks 2. What we need to find inside these rooms are some lockers. Simply walk up to each locker and open one of them. You won't find anything inside them other than maybe an intel that you might not have acquired yet. But as you start opening up these lockers, you will notice that a mimic will spawn into the map. The next part that we need to acquire is actually from killing one of the mimics. It could be any of these mimics that spawn. For example, if you open the first 2 lockers in one of the barracks, you will get a mimic spawning, and if you kill that one, you might get the part that you need spawning after killing that mimic. If you kill that mimic and you don't get the part that we need, just open up some more weapon lockers inside the barracks and then you'll get another mimic, and if you don't get the part from that mimic after killing it, open up some more lockers, and so on and so forth, until eventually once you open up all the lockers, if you still haven't got it yet, the last mimic that spawns when you kill it, you will get the weapon part. Once you kill the mimic, it will drop the part on the floor where it died, so simply walk up to that and pick up the part. The next weapon part is a little bit more complicated to acquire, so I'm going to take this bit a little slower for people so that they can understand this better. Head back over to the weapon lab area and come over to the computer that you were at earlier where you scanned the eyeball. You will notice now that the computer will have a green screen and a circle on it. You should also notice that part of the circle is filled in and part of the circle is not filled in. The idea of this step is when you interact with the computer, you will get a tiny little blip that will blip its way around the circle, and eventually it will stop at a certain point on the circle. It will do this 3 times, and you need to note down exactly where the position is that it stops at each time. What this circle actually represents is a dartboard, which you can find inside the spawn area. So the exact position where the blip stops is actually a number on the dartboard, and you need to note down these numbers. And bear in mind that the order for these numbers is random every single game, so my numbers will not be the same as yours. However, I'm going to show you as an example here with the footage slightly slowed down with the dartboard image up on the top corner of the screen for you so that you can see easily where it stops at every time. So as you can see, we went around the circle for the first time here and it stopped bang on here, which is the number 8 on the dartboard. So I've noted down for my game here the number 8 as the first number in the sequence. You now notice that it stopped at the number 12. So once again, I have now noted that the second number in my sequence is the number 12. Finally, the last number in this sequence is the number 4. So I have noted that the third number in my sequence is the number 4. So as you can see, I now have the numbers 8, 12 and 4. Once you have your number sequence, you will now want to head back over to the spawn area and come over into the atrium and then come into the village mess hall. You will notice on the wall here, you will see a dartboard. Remember the numbers that you got from your sequence on the computer earlier. Also bear in mind for this part, you will need a single shot weapon. weapon. So for example, if you have an assault rifle, you can shoot it in single bursts, so that is the best way of doing this. Simply walk up to this dartboard and shoot in your number sequence. So as you can see here in my game, I am shooting the number 8 first once, I then shoot the number 12 once, and then I finally shoot the number 4 once. Now that I've entered in the number sequence that I needed, I will shoot the bullseye in the middle, and this will open up the middle part of the dartboard and reveal the next weapon part that we need to pick up. So interact with that to pick it up. Finally, the last part you will need to find from a mangler zombie. The mangler zombies normally spawn in on round 15. However, sometimes you can get an assault wave on round 15 and they won't spawn then, but instead spawn on round 16. So just bear that in mind. When you acquire this next part, it's completely random, and my best suggestion to you is when you get the mangler zombies spawn in, try and save them until the end of your current wave that you are on, i.e. kill all the other zombies and mimics and then leave the manglers till last. You need to simply kill the manglers, and eventually when you kill one of these manglers, it will drop the weapon part that we need on the floor where it died. It is completely random when you will get this part. It might be the first mangler that you kill, you will get this weapon part. It could be the 8th. Just keep killing the manglers until eventually you see that golden weapon glow part pop out of its dead body, and then you can interact with the part and pick it up. Head over to the weapons lab area and come over to this table here where this bombshell is, and you will notice it will now say that you can interact with this computer in order to charge the power cell. Hold down your interactive button and this will put the part that we picked up from the dead mangler body into the power cell charger. You will now need to wait 2 full rounds for this magazine to charge up. Come back 2 rounds later, and now when you come up to the table, it will allow you to interact and pick up the magazine, and you can also tell when this magazine is completely charged, as it will now have a golden glow to it rather than just the purple glow that it had earlier. Come back to the weapons lab area again and head over to the wall table area where we picked up the blueprint from earlier, and now you should be able to hold and build the Ray K-84 wonder weapon on this table here. And once you built it, you can now pick it up and use it. And congratulations, you've now just acquired the free Ray K-84 wonder weapon. You can also go and pack-a-punch this weapon if you wish, so if you go to the pack-a-punch machine, you can go and pack-a-punch this weapon fully up. It makes it a hell of a lot more powerful, so I highly recommend it. Also, this weapon is not just simply a laser rifle shooter, but also if you push up on the D-pad on controller, then you can actually shoot out a little orb, and what this will do is if you just shoot out the orb on its own, this will slow down the zombies, mimics, manglers, etc. in the area of the radius where the orb is. If you switch back over to the laser spray ammo and shoot the orb that you've just shot down on the ground, this will create a massive explosion and wipe out all the zombies in that radius. This is really good for having a big train of zombies. Otherwise, that's all there is to this guide. I hope you guys found it useful. If you need any more guides for Firebase Z, I will leave a link down in the description so you guys can go check out anything you need to from there. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next video for use. Head back to the helipad and come back over to the teleporter that you used earlier to get here. Interact with that teleporter and it will teleport you back to the courtyard area that you spawned in at the beginning of the game. Now if you head down to the courtyard and head over to the atrium where Ravenov was, you should now notice once you approach the pack